Hello and welcome to TheMan Games. Today's video is a bit of a sad video, unfortunately. Jon Huber, Brodie Lee, Luke Harper passed away a couple of days ago. He died of a non-COVID related lung issue. He was only 41 years old. He's gone far too soon. He was in his prime, in my opinion. He had so much left to give to the wrestling industry, also in my opinion. He has a wife at home. He has two young boys. It's just an awful situation for them. I spent a lot yesterday thinking about what they must be going through and just how sad it is. And yeah, it's just an awful thing to happen to someone. But this episode, we're going to be looking at the highlights of Brodie Lee, Luke Harper, remembering some of the good stuff he has done in the wrestling industry. So he debuted in NXT as part of the Wyatt family with Bray Wyatt and Eric Rowan. That was in 2012. He won the NXT Tag Team Championships with Eric Rowan on the 8th of May episode of NXT. Then on May 27th of Raw, they started showing the vignettes of the Wyatt family coming to Raw, and then I believe it was in July, the 8th of July episode of Raw, the Wyatt family debuted and attacked Kane. So the Wyatt family, it was obviously Bray Leader was the leader, but Luke Harper was still there. Bray and Kane had an Inferno match or a Ring of Fire match at that year's SummerSlam 2013. And then shortly after that, I was at a Raw show in Manchester, and the main event was The Shield against CM Punk and Daniel Bryan, and then halfway through the match, the Wyatt family appear in the ring. So I was actually there for like the first tease of the Wyatt family versus The Shield, and then we did get that on February 23rd, 2014, Elimination Chamber, 6-man tag style match. It was the Wyatts against The Shield. What a great match that was. Harper was in Bray Wyatt's corner at WrestleMania 30 when Bray took on John Cena at WrestleMania, obviously. WrestleMania 30 that was. He also won the IC title from Dolph Ziggler. I believe it was 17th of November, around that time. He won it on an episode of Raw, but then he lost it at that year's TLC in a ladder match. One of my matches of the year that year, him and Dolph Ziggler had a cracking ladder match at TLC. Harper dived through the ropes and got his arm caught in the ladder. It looked like it absolutely sucked. WrestleMania 31, he was in the ladder match for the IC title. Unfortunately, he didn't win the title back. Daniel Bryan won it that night. And also, I was quite lucky. I saw him in the 2016 Royal Rumble. I was there also for that. All four members of the Wyatt family were in that match. They were trying to take down Brock Lesnar in that match. So then after that, I remember seeing him fight Rowan at a house show, but I can't remember what. I think it might have been around this time, because he kind of went a bit quiet in the WWE around this, kind of after that. So I think that might have been, after 2016, so maybe around 2017, he had a little feud with Eric Rowan, but I'm not 100% sure on that. He did win the tag team titles again as part of the Wyatt family, but this time it was Bray and Randy Orton. They were showing dissension in the Wyatt family. There was Orton and Harper. Could they, work together? But then they had a match at Elimination Chamber 2017. That was another great match also. I was kind of hoping it would be a triple threat match at that year's WrestleMania 33. I was hoping it was going to be Bray, Orton and Harper for the title, but they didn't do that, unfortunately. Harper went quiet again for a little while. Then he came back with Eric Rowan again, but they were just Harper and Rowan. They were part of the team called the Bludgeon Brothers, and they won the tag team titles at WrestleMania 34 against the Usos and the New Day. SummerSlam 2018, they had a great match with the New Day. I was there in the crowd, saw that, and then 2 nights later, at the SmackDown taping, it was a no DQ match. It was a rematch, New Day and the Bludgeon Brothers. So they actually lost the titles that night, but I believe it has been voted the 4th best match ever on SmackDown. So yeah, a great accomplishment there from Brodie Lee, Luke Harper. And then again, injuries occurred. I believe it was Rowan that got injured. That's why they dropped the titles, and he was off TV for quite a while again. I think he did a few things for like Worlds Collide and things like that, and was maybe in a few Battle Royals, but nothing really noticeable. But then he did return in 2019 to help Rowan against Roman Reigns. They had an awesome match, a tornado tag. It was Reigns and Daniel Bryan against Eric Rowan and Luke Harper. So yeah, it was a great match at that year's Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. And then he got released out of his contract. He debuted in AEW on the 18th of March 2020. He'd only been there a short while. He was wrestling Jon Moxley for the AEW Championship. That was at Double or Nothing on May 23rd. Fortunately, he didn't win, but it was an awesome match. And then he ended up winning the TNT title from Cody Rhodes on an episode of Dynamite. What closing to that show that was August 22nd, obviously this year. And then that would build to a dog collar match. I was so excited for the dog collar match. That was on the 7th of October, AEW Dynamite edition. But obviously, Brodie Lee lost the title back to Cody. And that would be his final match, unfortunately, that I know of anyway. He's also in a horror movie that I only just recently found out called Mohawk. Yeah, I didn't know that. He was in the 2K20. He was in the 2K games, the WWE games. He was in 2K15 through to 2K20. So here is just a list of some of his accomplishments. So he was the A10 Gravity Champion for Alpha One Wrestling. Obviously, we already spoke about this. He was the AEW TNT Champion. In Jersey All Pro Wrestling, he was their World Heavyweight Champion, their New Jersey State Champion. He was Tag Team Champion with Nisra Butcher. He was the Next Era Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, the NWA Empire World Champion, the NWA Southern Television Champion. In Pro Wrestling Illustrated, he was ranked 24th out of 500 singles wrestlers in 2015. Also in Rochester Pro Wrestling /NWA Upstate /NWA New York, he was their Dojo Champion, the Heavyweight Champion, Tag Team Champion with Freddie Midnight, and the Upstate Television Champion. In Squared Circle Wrestling, he was the 2CW Heavyweight Champion. He had that 2 times. World of Hurt Wrestling, he was their United States Champion 3 times. In the Wrestling Observer newsletter in 2013, as part of the White family, they were the best gimmick that year. And also, he won a Slammy for Best Match of the Year in 2014 when it was Team Cena against Team Authority at Survivor Series. So this was a short little video just speaking of some of the highlights of Brodie Lee, Luke Harper, Jon Huber's career. Like I said in the beginning, this is absolutely devastating news. I just couldn't believe it when I found out. It's all I thought about all day yesterday, to be honest. It's just awful. So yeah, we're just going to look through a few clips of Brodie Lee to end off the show. But if you did enjoy this video, please hit that like button, subscribe to TheMan Games, and also on the channel we have a watch along of the best of Brodie Lee in CCW. So that's me watching the DVD and giving my first time reactions. So make sure you check that out.